Everybody, when people think of Martin guitars, the model that's probably most popular and model that comes to mind is the D-28. Now, the very earliest of the D-28s had this herringbone trim, and some of the reissues that they've come out with, they use that trim again, but for many years they discontinued that. This guitar is a 1934. This is the first year that Martin came out with the D-28. And this is a magnificent piece in beautiful condition. Brazilian rosewood, just a stunning example. The top is really flat on this guitar. And what the D-28 was, it's a rosewood sides and back with an ebony fingerboard. These very early ones, we call these snowflake inlays that they had. Tortoise guard, early bridge. This is just a super fine example. This is a guitar that you'll hardly ever see. And, you know, guitar collectors would die for this guitar. There's a little discrepancy as to how many they actually made in 34. At one point, it was said to be 12, and then some people have said that there's a little more. I can't imagine that there's many of these, and I can't imagine that many of these are in this type of condition, has the original case. This, again, was one of the ones that I was able to buy back from this big collection that I just recently purchased. And, you know, I'm proud to own these kind of instruments because everybody who's a flat top guitar collector wants a D-28, and this is the D-28. This is the one. First year, the very early ones had bar frets, which were very small, thin frets that they used, and then at a later time they went to the bigger frets, and then they went to later bracing patterns. Over the years, once they eliminated the herringbone, the guitars changed quite a bit. But these very early ones are so desirable and so unique to find one in this kind of condition. So, you know, I can't imagine anybody who collects guitars who wouldn't flip over this guitar. This is a major, major piece of guitar art right here. So I wanted to make one correction here. It is a 1934 first year 14 fret D-28 herringbone. Actually, the first guitars, they made a D1, which was the equivalent of an 18, and a D2, and then they made a couple 12 fret D-28 herringbones, but this is the first year of the 14 fret, which is the most desirable version of herringbone D-28. This guitar is like every country guitar player's dream. All the country artists, this is what everything was based on, and this is what the, you know, when you think of this type of guitar, a lot of the modern designs came from this particular guitar, and there's been reissues, there's been a lot of boutique makers that have tried to do their version of this guitar, but this is the original thing.
This is 1934 D-28 herringbone. So this 1934 herringbone has just got incredible sound across the frequency spectrum from bass to low. It almost just sounds like a piano when you're playing it. All the notes are very articulate. Everything comes through nice and clean and clear like a bell. And then the necks are just fantastic on these old guitars. Sometimes old guitars have huge chunking necks that are really hard to get around on. This thing plays up and down just like you're playing a brand new guitar. It's just from the prime era of Martin's heritage, and sounds like this one sounds. You know.